The picture is now becoming much clearer, my friends. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. Got, of course, a number of things to get into. We got a new pricing scandal. Yet another company raising prices instantaneously. We'll get into that. We got BMW stepping in it. We got also what's going on with inflation. Absolutely insane. We got, on top of that, a ton of other stories, including what University of Michigan is now doing with their grades. You won't believe it. We have a teacher speaking out about it. We got also another crazy one. This is stuff we were talking about and joking about like 5-10 years ago, where they're talking about stopping you from changing your temperature in your house. Yes, a state where this is happening. We'll get into that. People wanting to return their new cars because they don't work. They keep breaking down because they're too advanced. And they over-engineered them. And then on top of that, engineers or mechanics that can't even fix them. And we'll get into also the whole thing with the flock cameras. There's a bunch of insanity going on with that as well, which actually is sort of the main story of the video. We get into a number of things with regards to that. What Louis Rossmann had to say, Ben Jordan, and a number of other people, including Tommy G. Let's just get into this. Let's start with this pricing scandal at Home Depot this time. The last one was like Shake Shack, right? Where if you didn't give them a tip, they raised the prices on it. Oh, whoops, the prices just changed. It's no longer $5.99, it's $6.49 because you didn't give us a tip. Apparently, Home Depot doing it as well. Another pricing scandal with them. American is ordering cabinets. The price for the store pickup is free, delivery is free. But when you do the checkout, all of a sudden the prices change on you if you pick delivery. Check this out.
This is crazy.
What's going on?
So I'm trying to order the cabinets and it says, look, it says pickup is free and delivery is free, right? Look at the total. We're ordering a bunch of cabinets. Then when I switch to delivery, it changes the price. The price of the item goes up.
Weird.
It says it's free. So they're lying. Now look, now it's worth $260.
$260 and
then
that's, wait, hold on, show what the product is.
It's a cabinet.
36-inch base cabinet.
All I'm doing is switching the delivery method, which says free, and now the product is $314. So delivery is not free.
It's the same price.
This is like scummy marketing. I mean, I keep talking about this. This is so ridiculous because I used to be a marketer. And this is the kind of stuff that we always looked at it as being bad. Yet every company is now doing it. This is making all those people that were like get rich guys look like normal. Because we always thought they were doing horrible, like, you know, kind of scummy marketing. But that is now literally the commonplace with all these companies. You got Home Depot doing it now. You have Shake Shack doing it, literally changing the price in real time on you, lying to you in the process. It's absolutely insane. You got this other story of BMW getting a lot of pushback for forcing their customers to watch an ad for the new Spider-Man brand new day movie. Check this out.
BMW just pissed off a lot of owners because they're putting like Spider-Man, basically advertisements inside their vehicles. And I think that brings up like a bigger question of like the ethics of advertising and how that pertains to the car industry.
Exactly.
Automakers should definitely not be allowed to just forcibly apply marketing material.
Dude, this is so ridiculous, man. Like, we used to make fun of these people that would use scummy marketing techniques, but like literally everyone's trying to do it now. They're trying to make you pay for subscriptions for your ice maker and your refrigerator. They're trying to force you to watch ads in your car. They tell you you can't legally be texting and driving, but then they put a little screen in front of you with an ad for Spider-Man while you're driving. Shouldn't that be illegal or something? You know, like what in the hell is this crap? This is insane. It's so ridiculous. And we have another story. Speaking of Spider-Man, Americans are being priced out of doing family things they were once easily affordable. This woman wants to take her family to the Museum of Science in Chicago. Going to the museum was once very affordable. Here's how it now works. It's $26 per out-of-state visitor, but each exhibit now costs $64 per person. For 3 paid exhibits, they are Spider-Man, World War II, submarine, and coal mining. So that's $260 for a family of 4.
If you don't want to hear it, you could just scroll along. I grew up in the inner city of Chicago, and for field trips when we were young, we would always go to the museums. So the Field Museum, the Shedd Aquarium, Museum of Science and Industry, we used to go all the time. I've been there numerous times. We now live 50 miles from Chicago, so it's not something that my kids do with their school because it's just kind of far. So I saw an ad that the Museum of Science and Industry has a Spider-Man exhibit right now, which my kids would like. And my kids are not super young. So my son is 16, my other son is 11. My daughter would not be going. So it would be 2 adults and 2 kids. I go online to look at the tickets, $26 to get in for a non-Chicago resident. Not bad at all. But what I didn't realize is that every exhibit is extra money. They have like 5 or 6 exhibits going on right now that cost extra money. And out of the exhibits, we would want to do the Spider-Man. We would want to do the World War II.
That's crazy, dude.
And
So the prices are insane. From what you're saying here, $64 per person for 3 paid exhibits. So I guess it would be like what, 20 or so per exhibit or something like that per person. But I mean, that's insanely high priced. And of course, everything is getting more and more expensive. They're trying to find new ways to market to you while your job is not paying you more at all. And we're just getting started. We got a ton of stuff to get into. We got this teacher crying over what's going on with schools. We'll get into that. We got some other crazy stuff like what University of Michigan is now doing. You're not going to believe it. We got your thermostat not changing because apparently they don't want to allow you to lower it in some states. We'll get into that as well. And people returning their new vehicles, all the other stories, including the flock cameras. We'll get into that. First, I'm going to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. Lots of options available. Always wise to be prepared for whatever might be next. 25-year shelf life. You don't got to worry about it once it's in your house in case something mostly peaceful happens around you or some weird robot thing happens, some apocalypse. Who knows? Whatever it might be, you got the stuff in your home. Go check it out. Link is in the description. This book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity. What if there's something like that happening? Robots, AI data centers change a little bit over the next 10 years. You might want to have that just in case while you live out in the mountains, right? I'm hoping I'm joking. I hope you don't need the book, but it's only $37. You might as well have it just in case, right? And go check out our investment opportunity in OVR, $400 to get a seat with the other shareholders. Definitely want to get involved. 33% of the profits are set aside for all those that get involved. We are getting very far along with the game. We're going to show you some new footage soon here. We're going to do an interview and all that and put it on video on this channel and my other 2 channels. Let's get back to the video we have here. A woman pulls out her bank account balance after someone called her broke while she's in line at Walmart. All right.
Am I broke? Hell no, she ain't broke. Fuck no. Hell no. She ain't broke. Hell no, she ain't broke. The fuck?
She has $6,400 in her bank. She says, I'm not broke. I thought it was kind of funny what this guy said here. I remember Warren Buffett did the exact same thing at Walmart in Omaha when he hit a net worth of $6,500. Obviously, that's not what happened, but obviously at this point in time, just having some money in your bank means you're not broke, right? That's what it seems to be the case. You got $6,500, you're not broke. You got 0 in there, you're broke, right? Or you're negative, or maybe you got a few hundred or a couple thousand. You might be on the little edge there, right? Obviously with how expensive stuff is, though. We saw that woman back here wanting to take her family to the Museum of Science in Chicago. What is it? Museum of Science in Chicago, $260 for a family of 4. I mean, goodness gracious. Absolutely insane, the prices these days. You got what the University of Michigan is doing now. I went to Michigan Tech up in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, MTU. University of Michigan was supposed to be the better school. Like this is the best school for engineers, right? Back when I was in college. Now, apparently, the University of Michigan will begin hiding grades of freshman students. They're not even going to give you a letter grade. Letter grades will be hidden. Instead, students will get a pass or fail. This is aimed to reduce stress and help mental health of incoming college students.
Major change to grades. I want to know what all of you think about this. Starting in the fall of 2027, freshmen at U of M's College of Literature, Science, and the Arts will have their first semester letter grades hidden from external transcripts. Students will still get grades, their professors will still tell them how they're doing, but instead of an A, B, C, D showing up on the external transcript, the class will basically show pass or no credit. And the first semester grades won't count toward their GPA. Why? University officials say the idea is to give freshmen time to adjust to college, try challenging classes, and to reduce some of the stress surrounding grades.
Honestly, that is a bad idea. Let me tell you why that's a bad idea. The first year of college is easy. At least when I was there, it was easy. You could be literally playing video games all day and still get A's if you know what you're doing. Well, maybe not all day video games, but there were some people that literally did nothing and they got bad failing grades. But they didn't go to class, they didn't study, they didn't do anything. I'm saying if you do just some normal studying, you can have fun, screw around, go out with friends, and still do really well in the first year. You want the first year grades because the first year grades are usually the higher grades because it gets hard in junior and senior year. That's when it gets really hard. So I would want the first year of grades. Matter of fact, my GPA would have went down if they would have canceled out the first year of grades. My GPA would have been lower because the second year I did really terrible. I did really terrible the second year. First year I did really well. I think it was like a 3.8. Second year I did really terrible. And then third and fourth year I did really good because I had to get my butt in gear. The second year I was still screwing around, just not trying. I thought I could just do it the whole college, and I found out the hard way that's not the case. It was going to get hard and you had to try harder, right? But I mean, why are they hiding grades? Almost like they don't want them to really. What is up? People can't handle like stress and stuff now. Like you got to be able to. You got to face it. You got to face it, right? You can't just do stuff like that. Hide your grades and stuff. And you're doing good. Let's just pass you anyways. Then you got this teacher here, high school English teacher, breaks down crying because let's just play what he has to say. Let's play this.
I literally broke down in the middle of class because I'm teaching seniors. These kids are leaving high school and going to college, hopefully, after they finish. We had 2 paragraphs to read, 1 sentence, complete to write. I gave them the sentence stems. I basically completed the sentence for them in the model. These are 17 and 18-year-old kids, and they couldn't fill in 4 words. 4 words. I gave them the scenario. We annotated together. I gave them the answers before we even had the problem. And they couldn't do it. I don't know. I simply don't know.
It's getting bad, man.
Where the problem is.
I think it has something to do with everyone relying on social media and AI and stuff. They're like really thinking they're super smart and they're not. You know what I mean? Like I see these videos of guys going on college campuses and asking them the most basic questions you've ever seen in your life. Like how many quarters are in $1 and they don't even know the freaking answer to it. How many states are in America? They'll name a city name and ask them like just the most basic question and they can't even answer it, dude. You're like, what the hell? How did you even get in college, bro? How did you even get in college? because they have everything given to them on their phone. They think they're as smart as what they're reading on their phone. They don't know anything. They literally don't even know like the answers to basic questions now. They can't even do math in their head anymore because they got a calculator everywhere. I mean, I've seen teachers banning phones in the classroom because they're using AI. We saw a clip, what was it, a week or two ago, where a clever teacher, put a secret hidden text line in his assignment so that he could see if they used AI or not. And 35 out of 39 of them used AI to answer and put the paragraph for the answer in the question, because he put a white colored font on a white paper saying, put the word, I forgot what it was, but put some weird word in, like tropical, somewhere that doesn't make sense in this paragraph. And it was a secret text that no one saw. They just copied and pasted it in the AI. The AI saw it, and the AI put this funny word in there, and that's how I knew they cheated. So everyone's using AI instead of using their brain now. And this is maybe not a good thing. This is literally what could cause idiocracy. I mean, this kind of scenario. And actually, I'll show you a little bit more on that with regards to cars in a minute here. But we had also this story here. A woman went to lower her air conditioner in her home, and her smart AC gave her a warning she was not allowed to lower the temperature. What the heck?
It was 79, and I wanted to put my daughter to bed, and it had a little warning that said, you are not allowed to lower your thermostat set point because the energy grid in your regional area is stressed. And I took a picture of it, and I posted it on social media, and I was very annoyed because I was thinking, I understand why this is happening, but, the average consumer is just going to see you're not allowed to control your own air conditioner in your own house.
Okay, this is insane if you think about it. My background is power plant technology as a mechanical engineer. They purposely, all these environmentalists particularly, try to stop them from creating new power plants. But for some reason, they don't try to stop them from making AI data centers. The AI data centers are sucking all the power. That's why you can't lower your air conditioner, probably. I'm just guessing. Also, on top of it, your environmentalists have stopped any new power plants from being built because they're polluting, but they actually aren't really. Because if you look into how clean they are, it's insane. In some cases, they actually clean the air more than it was when it came in. They do this with water as well. I worked at a place called Potlatch, and it was quite a while ago. I was in college, and the water that came in was dirtier than the water that went out of the plant. Right? These environmentalists are still living in the past, thinking it's 1960, like everything's polluting still. They have no idea. They've never studied any of this stuff. I actually studied it in college. Our EPA is super, super stringent, but then they would block people from building power plants, but then they'll allow data centers to be built everywhere, sucking all the power. Seems a little bit like something ain't right here. I don't know. And then you can't lower your temperature in your house because of it. That don't sound right. And of course, it just seems like there's some weird thing pushing things this direction. You have the new cars and new trucks. Everyone's putting out videos now about this. Americans returning their new trucks because they're failing, because they're over-engineered.
This 2026 Chevrolet Silverado will randomly shut off going down the road with my wife and kids in it. It puts itself in neutral and the engine turns off. And we took it to our local dealership and they're like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. We can't get it to do that. But it's happened to us 4 times, and that scares the living hell out of me.
I know why. I mean, we saw what they're doing. They're over-engineering these engines now. They're very, very precise, almost like race engines. They have very high pressure inside these engines. They use a different type of metal, similar to what they use with race cars. Why would you do that? Duh. Why don't you use the old metal, the gray metals they used to use in engines that are more giving, which clearly they aren't anymore, and that's why they're shutting off like this. They literally over-engineered it.
So please like and share this post to help raise awareness. Maybe I'll come across a technician somewhere that knows the actual fix, because I'm probably going to have to get rid of this brand new pickup. because
That's
I don't think
crazy.
it's safe for me and my family.
That's nuts. We got any other ones like this? Oh yeah, let's check out this guy's.
These new trucks are just way overpriced. This truck right here had an MSRP of $55,000 when I bought it. Then that did not include the 23-inch rims, side steps, and also does not include the Lear topper, obviously. It is very easy on these new trucks to get massive discounts. I got this truck out the door at 42 grand at a $55,000 MSRP, including the wheels, and those are, you know...
They got the prices down because they're having trouble selling them. That's why the prices are down right now. Actually, the prices were really high, I think, like a year ago, and now the prices are falling a ton because no one's buying them, because I keep hearing about these stories of these vehicles breaking down. And I've already covered numerous ones where they were shutting off and the engine was failing after 20, 30,000 miles. It's getting pretty crazy like that, actually. What is this one here? Let's check this one out.
Means that a lot of people at the factory are not paying attention. They're trying to get these out as fast as possible. The quality control is just atrocious right now. And, you know, when
you know what it is? It's not exact. He's right, but it's not exactly that. What it is they've over-engineered these and have very low tolerances. And then they have the same manufacturing setup that they had before, and because of that, they're not keeping the quality control to these tight tolerances, and that's what's causing all these troubles.
Companies start cutting corners in the name of being cheap, saving money, and just kind of getting stuff out as fast as they can.
Yeah, that's what's so funny about it. Like, so they're over-engineering and they're using cheap materials. See, I actually used to design medium-duty truck myself. Actually, I used to be an engineer doing that. I was in the cab in white, though. I actually did the design with like the door and A-pillar and stuff like that. But I didn't do like the engines or any of that. That's actually an entirely separate section of the company that I was at. I was at International Harvester or Navistar. But the thing is they're over-engineering them and using cheap quality parts. All they had to do was keep it like it was. Literally, that's all they had to do. They're bored or something and had to over-engineer these. And then they were told, oh, we can make more money if we over-engineer them, make it super complex. We'll shut down the small shops. We'll have only the dealerships. Normal people can't work on it anymore. So then we could we could actually make the money replacing the parts, and when we can make the prices higher. This is what I'm thinking they were doing. Their marketers were saying this stuff to them. This is my guess.
Then you have things like Ford having the most recalls in history, and it's just honestly quite frustrating. Imagine you buy a new vehicle and you've got to continually keep taking it in every couple of months for the next recall and the next recall and the next recall.
It's so, dude, this is just funny, man. It's because they were thinking they can make more money going this route. And now they're actually shooting themselves in the foot in the process. You have this young mechanic here warning, listen before you try to work as a mechanic. Okay, he's saying about small shops being closed out because you have to have all this proprietary stuff now. I'll play this real quick. Let's play this.
I'm a mechanic. I just put my 2 weeks in so I could go to college. Yeah, I did all that this morning. Let me tell you why. This industry is just, it's done. There's nothing else to say about it, really. There's a survey that was done. They interviewed 2,000 technicians. Do you know how many people recommended this job to another person? 7% of the fucking industry. You make next to nothing. You're promised almost no hours because nobody wants to bring their cars in anymore. And then through the whole thing, the tech just gets shafted on every single part of it. Labor prices have been going up, but mechanics don't get paid more. The cost of tools in trade school has gone up. And now just to own a good set of tools, it's about 40 grand.
Okay, so this is what I was saying. So these companies like Ford, they've made very specialized parts in their vehicles so that they can charge more money for them. And because of this, you need specialized tools. And so now he has to have much more specialized tools, which causes your repairs to go up in price, not because this guy's charging more, but because Ford and all those guys are charging more.
You're expected to provide on your first day. The flat rate system is completely broken. And this is something I would have done years ago if I was working at a dealership and I had to deal with warranty work all day. Let me put it this way. I am yet to meet a person in my industry who likes their job. Matter of fact, I'm yet to meet a person in my industry.
It's getting worse because there's like a lot of these vehicles have specialized parts now. So you need to have specialized tools. Each one's different. There's also some really bad engineering mistakes I've seen as well, where you have to like literally drop the engine just to do something dumb because of the engine. Again, as an engineer, it makes sense to me that this happened because they were trying to over-engineer it. So the marketers told the engineers, you got to do this stuff. The engineers are like, okay, whatever. So they start doing it. They actually over-engineered it. And then afterwards, they're like, oh shit, where do we put this part? We can't get it in the car anymore because we've changed this over here. Now we can't get this in. Oh, you got to put it right there. Well, then they'll have to drop the engine just to fix it. That's what they did. They over-engineered the freaking car. And it was because some marketers wanted to make more money. They got greedy. This is what happened. They got greedy and this happened. I'm just telling you based on my theory and being an engineer working on trucks in the past. I don't know. My dad was a mechanic as well. Whatever. So then you got this whole thing with flock cameras. Apparently they're everywhere but the rich areas. Ah, yes, indeed. There are 0 flock cameras in Manhattan's wealthiest neighborhood. I wonder why. Flock cameras for thee, but not for me. I guess the rich don't want to be monitored like common criminals by the GOV. Yes, indeed. So this is a story that just came out. You have all these wonderful cameras everywhere in America now.
States, and at some point in the last 7 days, one of them most likely photographed your car, unless of course you live in Alaska. But we don't have anybody living in Alaska watching this channel. This demon read your plate. It logged the make, the model, the color of your car, the dents on your car, the scratches, your Sour Boys bumper sticker, and it uploaded all of that information into a private company server in under a second. Now,
you know what? This is actually kind of like that Tom Cruise movie, although it's not quite there yet, where it's crime. It's not quite there. It's like getting there, right? Like, so before you had to actually have a crime, and then you would have an investigation for the crime, and then you would look for evidence. Now what they do is they just gather evidence on everybody, wait for the crime, and then they're like, okay, here's tons of evidence. So they're like, it's not guilty until proven innocent, but it's like you're under suspicion until proven innocent, right? And this is why there's actually people getting arrested that were not even part of any crimes. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit as well. That's happening on a big scale. Now we had Ben Jordan put out a video 8 months ago where he hacked flock safety cameras in under 30 seconds. He found 47 weaknesses in these cameras where you can hack them, make them do a bunch of stuff. You can read the information off them, a ton of stuff. And apparently Florida made it illegal. Let's just watch this clip from Ben Jordan first.
Able to isolate a few various ranges of modulated signals. Then I brought the camera into another room to rule out localized interference and tested these signals as well as common integer quotients of those frequencies. Using an RF probe, I found an exploitable leak between 592 and 594 megahertz. Then, using a periodic log antenna and a 20 decibel low noise amplifier, I was able to point the RF gun at the device as far as 6 feet away and make out what the camera was capturing. In this
Man, this guy's pretty smart. He's looking for a lot of different security holes in these cameras. And what's interesting about it is Florida now has made this illegal. All right, check this out. This is Louis Rossman talking about it.
Today we're going to talk about a new law in Florida that came out right around the time that all these AI-powered surveillance cameras are becoming popular all around the country. If you're not familiar with Flock, the TLDR of this is they're a company that makes AI-powered surveillance cameras that are being hung everywhere at your taxpayer expense. The whole idea behind them is that city employees can easily figure out where you're going or where you are based on when your license plate has passed by one of these cameras. It's not just a license plate reader, because even if you take the license plate off the car, it could still tell that that is your car via fingerprinting technology. This allows us to live in a future someday where you could just have somebody type in there, where do people who vote for Ron Paul show up at 7 and 9 o'clock on a Friday in this area? And then show me their movement patterns afterwards and actually get a response. It's highly, highly creepy, and it's something that shouldn't be happening. Anyway, Ben Jordan did a great video on this a few months ago. In this video, he's talking about defeating the AI in these creepy police cameras. And you can see one of the things he did here is there's this layer of what I imagine is like plastic wrap or something, or saran wrap that went over the license plate. And then you could see these little dots that look, or squares that look like something that got put on with a Sharpie. Like there's a square over here, there's a square over here, there's a circle over here. This is essentially the world's easiest CAPTCHA. If you're a cop, even if you have 20/40 vision, you can clearly make out this license plate. There's nothing obscuring it whatsoever. However, he shows you in this video how when he just after he does that to the license plate, how it confuses the AI and it just stops seeing it as a license plate. Like it's just confused. It doesn't understand it anymore.
And then Florida made a law against this. Florida made a law against you doing this, apparently. I find that hilarious. Okay, why are they so concerned about following you around everywhere that they make laws to stop you from putting saran wrap on your license plate? See what I mean? It's kind of weird. It's like they want to push their agenda no matter what, even if it violates our rights, right? Here you have a lawyer talking about these police AI cameras. What was he going to talk about here? Let me look real quick. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, these are people that were falsely accused because of these cameras. Check this out.
Real world. Take Robert Williams, a black man from Detroit. He was arrested after a facial recognition software system misidentified him from a grainy surveillance still. Or maybe Randall Reed, arrested in Georgia on a warrant from Louisiana, a state he had never visited, all because facial recognition software said he looked like a shoplifting suspect. Or finally, Portia Woodruff, 8 months pregnant, falsely identified as a robbery suspect and hauled off in handcuffs in front of her kids.
So you can imagine, like, you have some sort of guy that looks like you somewhere, right? You live in like Texas and this guy lives in Florida, and then your face pops up for some crime that the guy did in Florida, and they go and try to arrest you in Texas. Like, what the hell, bro? I'm not even over there. I've never been there. Just because some dude looks a little bit like me, right? I'm sure there's someone that looks like you somewhere in the United States, and you don't want to be accused of a false crime that you never committed, that you never even been in that area, right? And this is what I'm talking about. We have here Tommy G as well, showing what all this is really about. Check this out.
We're essentially building the digital prison of the future, a system that knows you better than you know you.
Why do we need to bury family farms and make fortunes for some people and steal fortunes from other people? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. No, actually, that does make sense, because there's these people at the top and they don't want you to be competition for them. That's why you see all the stuff you see going on around you. They don't want you to have a family. They want you to have the rainbow instead. Don't have kids, because we'll have our kids and we'll offer our wealth to them and our knowledge to them, and we don't want you to compete with them. We want to be at the top forever, is what they're saying to you. And then that's why they're building this stuff, because they don't want you ever to compete with them. Certain specific families that want to stay there forever, and they're usually unnamed. And then they put out stuff in the media to make you hate someone else on the other side, when neither one of you are the problem. It's the guy up here causing the trouble. Okay? And they want you to just hate each other instead. That's basically what it is.
No, get out of the way. You work for us.
Blissfully ignorant of local politics until Microsoft showed up in my backyard.
And I wanted to talk about how we were using an Israeli cybersecurity company to monitor all employee communications.
That was another thing. The biggest investor in Flock was a company from that country they just mentioned. And they specialized in changing footage on cameras without it being detectable. So that means they could have this whole Flock system set up. Why would this one company that is really good at changing footage and making it undetectable, investing in them? Are they planning on doing that? Just making up some footage about you and then just putting you away for it? What the hell is that? Good question. It's kind of like some guy that's been convicted of crimes being on your board, and like he's literally been convicted of crimes that very much relate to your company, and you're like, no, just ignore that part. That doesn't mean anything. Just ignore it. He's not a bad guy. He's a good. He was falsely accused. Okay, he was falsely accused. At any rate, so you get the idea. Of course, you have this as well from the scriptures themselves. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Well, I would say knowledge might increase. They call them literally data centers. That's some pretty increased knowledge. Running to and fro, that's like flying everywhere. People do that all the time. Driving their cars everywhere. Sounds pretty close to the same thing. You got, of course, another book at the end talking about them creating an image that moves and speaks and causes people to do things. And you can't buy or also sell unless you are part of the plan. Sounds like that could easily be the case in the future if we're not careful with what's going on. Definitely, if you're not part of their plan, you're not going to be part of it, right? And you got to accept all their garbage in the process. I'm kind of wondering what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.